Can you hear me now? Charles Van Morgan Show. Welcome, welcome. Can everybody hear me now? Welcome, welcome. Yes, sir. Okay. Let me hear somebody say I can hear you. Charles Van Morgan Show. We're going to talk about the Guthrie case and blackmail, evil blackmail, and how that's going on with people in government power. Similar model. Nobody says this. It's dangerous. So somebody send me a message. Tell me if you can hear me. Charles Van Morgan Show. Thank you, thank you. Yes, sir. Okay, so we're talking about something everybody knows. Real interesting show. Hang on for the ride. They might take me off YouTube for saying this, but it's the truth, and I'm not advocating violence. Black mode. Let's see here. Okay, what we're going to talk about today is the model. Everybody's aware of the Guthrie case, the evil blackmail, torturing that family that's going on. And that's a model for how the government acts, for how they treat you. Got people in government power, that's how they do you. They blackmail you. It's evil government power that blackmails you. Nobody's saying this. Nobody's saying this because it's dangerous as hell. Point out the wickedness of the government, even do it peacefully, justifiably, with facts and receipts. And we're going to show you how the government, similarly as the Guthrie model, creates an evil situation and then tries to get money out of it. The government, your Tennessee government, does that to you. So remember the brand name. If they take me off YouTube for saying this, these YouTube and these social media channels are owned and influenced by the government. We're going to tell you how blackmail and then profit. The government, say Tennessee, does that. We're going to show you receipts of how they do that. Real interesting, valuable show for you. If you don't agree, at least listen to what I got to say. It makes a lot of sense because it's the truth. So listen about government blackmail. So that Guthrie case is nationwide, and everybody's concerned about it. My heart goes out to those people. But that's an isolated incident out there. Not that blackmail's isolated, but there's something that's a model that situation is about that applies to the people in power in the government in Tennessee, the way they operate. And we're going to tell you how they operate. They do the heinous evil that's going on in that Guthrie case. They create a situation that's horrific. In that case, it was abduction. The government creates abductions. They do. That's not a lie. I know that sounds inflammatory, and it is, but it's inflammatory truth. And people in government power, specifically in the state of Tennessee, maybe in your state too, I don't know. I'm here. I know how it works here for them. And then they blackmail you, people in government power. They blackmail you and get money out of you from the abduction that they cause illegitimately. Living your life, and they get you in their dirty, corrupt, wicked court system with their own and bought and paid for judges. And I'll show you how they are. By their bought elections by proxy. And then they blackmail you to get you out of the system. And even if you get out of the system safe and sound, and I hope that Guthrie lady does too, I pray for her, you still got to pay megabucks to people in power that feed off the system, that benefit from it to make it bigger and create more abductions. I'm just telling you the facts of the matter. And we're going to show you receipts. This is Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News, telling you the truth from a sociological, scientific perspective that no one else talks about. So watch the show. It might get deleted. I don't know. This is live. This might be the only time you hear it because it's the truth that they don't want me putting out. And we're going to talk about it today. the government evil, the blackmail model that goes on every day in the state of Tennessee. Every day and in every way. It's alarming, but you need to hear the truth, because if we don't know the extent of the problem, we can't correct it. So I'm going to tell you the horrific, horrible, devastating problem in Tennessee, in our courtrooms, in our government power. And people think I'm anti-government. I'm not anti-government. I'm anti the people in government power right now. And that's the reason why, if you see on my icon, there is a but. There's the government is evil and wicked, and they use the Guthrie model, but, and hang on, we'll show you that at the end, what that however is about. And it's not a lot, but it's something to hold on to, and we'll tell you what that's about. So hold on, and we'll tell you about that. But first, we're going to explain to you, if we can get across this street, the problem. So let me see if y'all can hear me. Hang on to the show. Very, very devastating show that talks about a lot of evil and a lot of wrong. And you need to know, because we're talking about people that are in power over you and what they do to you, similar to the Guthrie case, the evil wickedness that's involved in that case. Think about your government. I'm going to tell you how you can think about it, and I'm not going to be hyperbolic. I'm going to tell you the truth about it, how it really is. People in government power right now in Tennessee, in your courts, that are that wicked, and they do that to you every day, in every way, and we're going to tell you how they do it. So listen, very important information, and then we're going to tell you the however part, the but part, that you need to hear. And so we got receipts. We're on our way to our pulpit, our signature location, and we're going to explain to you and show you the state laws and things that make it profitable for them to abduct you sometimes at gunpoint bleeding, and put you in a system and then extract money from you and your family. They do that every day, corruptly. The Tennessee government does that. Yes, I'm making that accusation boldly, bluntly, truthfully, and as bad as you think that it is, if you agree with me, it's 10 times worse. Think about the Guthrie family. Think about the families in Tennessee that have went through the government doing that to them. Abductions, false abductions. And if you don't think I'm telling you the truth, I'll name some names, call out some stuff that's in the newspaper. You just don't put it in the right perspective. I'm going to put it in the proper perspective from a scientific point of view. And we'll look at the beautiful view. Hang on board. We're going to give you some real stuff that's real hard, needfully so, that will, in the end, the however part is the part that will help. But you need to know the evil that's going on every day. I'll show you the Tennessee codes. They abduct at gunpoint, bloody sometimes, innocent people, and they benefit, blackmail off the abduction. And we're going to tell you, Charles Van Morgan, remember the brand, because they may take me off the internet for telling the truth, and I'm not advocating violence. I'm advocating for truth that they don't want you told. You won't hear this anywhere else. Listen, like, share, and comment, and subscribe. So here's a beautiful view. Missing are the ones who don't pay. Yeah, John Goodman from another university. Yeah, and you're a dirty jerk. And yeah, this is another university, John Goodman. Yeah. So here's a beautiful view in Knoxville. Like, share, comment, and we're going to take you, there's the dirty courthouse where the abductions take place. And also, you pay for the protection. You pay for the protection of the abductors. So it's even worse than the Guthrie model. And the Guthrie model, everybody knows that what's going on now in the national news. Horrific. Got the whole world praying for that lady, and good. That's what they need to do. And I have prayed for her. But let's pray also about our people in power in our state government. they do, in another way, the same model, the same damn thing, and it's horrifically worse because they have more power and because they won't go to jail unless we point it out and we put them in jail. So we've got some receipts here, and we're going to spell it out for you. We may go to the scene of a crime by one of them, and they get by with their crimes, and you don't even commit a crime, and you get abducted and blackmailed. In the great state of Tennessee, they've infected it and lied to us. So we're going to tell you the truth about the state. Here's our notes. So money buys their lies. That gets them elected. That gets them in power where they can commit atrocious acts of abduction and blackmail against you. And they do. There's one of my fans. And they do. All day, every day, they abduct people all across the state of Tennessee. And we're not talking about illegal aliens. We're talking about citizens in the state of Tennessee that never committed a crime, never intend to. And how the system benefits off that financially. The root of all evil, proclaims in God's holy word is money. We'll show you the money trail. Connect the dots. Thank y'all for joining me. You won't hear this anywhere else. Nobody calls it out as boldly, as honestly, as truthfully from a scientific perspective as I do. Because it's dangerous. Dangerous as hell. And in a lot of circles, it's not possible. It's not a thing that is popular because people in government power run it down because they benefit from the system. So if you hear people running me down, I wonder who they're related to or what kind of government power they're in, because they benefit from it. And not everybody in government power is crooked, but even the people that aren't crooked got to go along with the program, or they'll get ostracized, maybe criminalized, and maybe get blackmailed their damn self. That's how powerful the crooked system is. Look at the control that the abductor in the Guthrie case has. And they don't even know if they got the mother, the 84-year-old lady, and they exert that much power. Just think how much crooked power the government in the state of Tennessee exhorts over you. So we got some documents. We'll show you the laws that are blackmail laws that extract money out of you, that benefit and increase and make larger the criminal justice blackmail apparatus that punishes you. This is Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. From an educated perspective, I've lived life, which is even more powerful, and y'all have too, but I also have a Master of Arts degree in sociology and emphasis in criminology. So I'm also talking from an educated perspective. So sit down, buckle up, and listen. We're going to show you the tragedy going on statewide in the state of Tennessee. The Guthrie case is the model. It's not nothing new. Tennessee does that dirty, crooked evil every day in the state of Tennessee. And if you think it's okay, wait till they get you. And then you'll know what I'm saying. You have to pay them money and go through that evil from people in power that are crooks. Worse than, I believe, the abductors in the Guthrie case. It's all about the money. And they don't care to torture you, mistreat you. And they do it every day, all day. And they do a little right to legitimize themselves, but they're not legitimate good people. They're evil, wicked people. So we're talking about government power and the model. And look at the Guthrie case, that's a model. Abductions and then exploitation for cash. Tennessee government criminal justice apparatus is exactly what it is. We're going to tell you the truth, show you the laws that they made, people in power, the laws that they made to extract money out of innocent Tennesseans. Wow, yeah, think about it, it's horrific. And I hope that I can articulate the gravity of the evil. I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to speak truth to power and truth to you. Listen, this is very important. This is life-saving information, country-saving, USA-saving information. I don't care what the people in power say. I know what they say. It's a lie. They want your money. They have systems set up that they claim are legitimate that are not legitimate. They're evil and wicked. I'm not anti-government. I'm anti the people in government power that are blackmailing you today. They'll abduct you and blackmail you and get money out of you. They do it all day, every day. And I'm going to show you the laws that they made to enable themselves to do that are unjust laws, and talk about the warnings to these people. Not for me. They got to worry about something else than me. But we're going to expose the injustice. So we're at our signature location. Thank y'all very much. Look at the beautiful scenery. Like, share, and comment. I'm not a veteran, no. Trump is no longer soon. Can't even spell. I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so Charles Van Morgan show. Thank y'all. And we're going to get into the dialogue here. Listen, very important. Maybe the most important show I have done, because it's going to call out the wickedness more than ever. So money buys their lies that get them elected. And we're going to show you about the Guthrie case. Think about that case. And think about how it applies to us right now. We're all being victimized, but we're standing up. The but part at the end will show you a law to give you a clue about what we can do. So money buys their election, gets them elected. A proxy of people who benefit from the elections and spread their lies and take what's rightfully yours. Now, that's what they do. That's the system that we have. It's not a democracy. It's not a republic, or however you want to phrase it, where people, the mass population, elect these people. You don't. It was only a small percent. And it's not your fault. They lie to you, present themselves as Christians, say they'll uncover evil wherever they find it. Well, here's some evil right here. I'll show it to you on a silver platter, people in government power. It's easy to find, and I'm going to tell you about it. I've been in the system, out of the system. I know the system like the back of my hand. I can tell you all about it, and I'm about to tell you right now stuff that'll help you. Listen, and this will help you. What you think to be the truth is, but it's 10 times worse. So let's look at this now. They get elections. They get elections because they have a whole huge apparatus of money, a business. It's a justice, and the justice system. It's an injustice system, and the courts and the legal system is a business. It's a huge business, a powerful business. Now there's like 3 powers that matter. Actually 4 here at the bottom, because we need to flip the switch at the voting booth. But there's God. He's all powerful, and that's why there's hope. and then there is evil forces, Satan, and the evil, wicked demons of hell that were cast out of heaven, and other evil, wicked beings that God created for his divine purpose. But his divine purpose hasn't come to fruition yet. We're in the wicked, evil part. So these evil, wicked demons of hell, and then there's the third power that's really powerful that I'm pointing out right now in this message, showing you, comparing the Guthrie case, how wicked these people are. That's your people in government power in the state of Tennessee right now. That's how wicked they are. They are, and I'm going to show you. I'm not just talking off the top of my head, bringing you facts, stuff you need to know. Hey, you need to really look at this. And I'm not advocating violence. Don't be violent with them. That's the way they are with you. There's a better way to do it. And then there's the government. God, more powerful, overriding all that. Satan, Lucifer, the evil, wicked demons of hell, and then the government. And then there's you, got more power than the government, not more powerful than Lucifer. We need God's help with that. But the government on the earth is what Satan uses to give people what they want on the planet to entice people. He gives them government power just like he did Jesus. And how they get in power is this big, huge apparatus that grows, that blackmails you to get that big. And they exploit you. And it's all about this big, huge corporation that's the government that keeps getting bigger and bigger off exploitation, off blackmailing you. Just like the Guthrie case where somebody's abducted and people are sending messages to news media trying to get money in order for that lady's mother, elderly mother, to be returned. It's evil, wicked blackmail. That's what the government does to you. Evil, wicked blackmail with this evil, wicked, criminal justice, corrupt apparatus that feeds off you. They don't do productive, they do evil and abduct you. Now, if you don't think that's so, just look at the news media case. All the false drunk driving arrests in the state of Tennessee. That's in the paper. What's not in the paper? What's not in the paper? What's not in the paper? All the other false arrests, the apparatus of the criminal justice system that's feeding off innocent Tennesseans. You say that's not happening. I say, yes, it is. Every day, all day long. That's the truth. It's evil wickedness. It's the Guthrie case. They have their reasons. It's for money, to feed them and their family off you. It's convoluted and protracted and hard to match the dots up. I'm going to match them up right here, right now. Charles Van Morgan Live, Unbridled News. The truth of the matter. At a beautiful sight. They won't let me in the courtroom, so God's put me out here on the sidewalk. So the governors get elected off of proxy. People vote for the governor because the governor's going to give them jobs. It's all a huge group of people that are, most of them already in the government, are going to be. And the governor's going to give them jobs. So he promises them jobs. Now, it's not a statement where he writes out, I'll give you a job. He doesn't write this out. I'll give you a job, judgeship for support. They don't actually say that. There's not a contract signed here. Now, there's not. If you're looking for that, I'll give you a judgeship for support, sign right there. If you're looking for that, you're not going to find that. That's not the way it's done. It's a backroom deal. It's done in the back room, in the dark alleys at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just like Guthrie was abducted at 2 o'clock in the morning. They didn't go in there and sign an agreement with her to be able to take her. It's against your will. So they make these illicit agreements, not with a contract, but it's well known. These are supporters of mine, and when you go along with the program, then you get a job that supports you all your life. But how is that job supported? It's supported by innocent Tennesseans, by us. That huge atrocity, the kidnapping, it's not supported by a productive thing. It's supported by evil. The huge criminal justice system in the governor's office and all across this state of Tennessee is supported by evil, by the abduction, by the preying on all of us Tennesseans. That's the truth. Face it. It's real. And it's gotten worse and worse. And so that's the truth. So they get this proxy of people and promise them jobs, not with a contract. It's backroom deals at 2 o'clock in the morning. The abductions happen. The evil wickedness happens. And if you abduct this lady, you know, there's some money. We're going to do the blackmail of the citizenry. That's how we're getting the money. So they get all these people together, and then all these people, thousands and thousands of people, the government's huge, and they need to make it huger, so they keep abducting. They keep doing the evil. They keep doing the blackmail. And you're the ones they blackmail. It's convoluted, but there's a straight line to it. I'll show you what it is. Justice is supposed to be blind. No, it's not. It's got state laws that put money on crime that don't even exist to make the system bigger so they can get more power to get elected. So All these people that are promised jobs, Stacey Heatherly, look at her, promised jobs, evil, wicked, caused evil, wicked stuff to go on in the state of Tennessee. I pointed it out. Look what happened to me. I don't care. I'm standing on the truth. She caused death. And I'm doing this out of love and concern for these people, warning you, correct your ways. There's a God in heaven. You'll be punished for the evil, wicked that you're doing. So I went to church yesterday, and I'm going to explain to you the apparatus that is doing this. The criminal justice apparatus that's blackmail. It's a criminal justice blackmail apparatus. Just like the Guthrie case. Same deal. Worse than that. That's a good model. Look at that model, compare it to Tennessee. And I'm going to compare it. Nobody does this. I will, because it's the truth, and it'll set you free. The truth will set you free. And the but at the end, listen to that. The however at the end is what's going to protect us. So, in church the other day, and you should go to church. There's evil wickedness in churches. I mean, Stacey Heatherly says God, country, mentions God. This is exploiting God. They exploit God, use God to get money and power and step over the bodies. That's exactly what she's done. When you go to church, and I'm saying you should go to church, but when you look around the church room, there's evil there. There's evil people there. Now, God doesn't condone that. That's not God. You should go to church. But I'm just saying, be aware, there's evil people in church. They use the church for legitimacy. I'm a deacon. I'm good. Are you? Look at Tracy Trox, deacon in the church. He wasn't a good man. He wasn't. He's very evil and wicked. So go to church, but be aware. Your pastor may be evil. I don't know. I'm not saying go to church with a paranoid attitude. I'm saying go to church with a realistic attitude. Sometimes you can go to your local bar and there's more good people that will treat you fairly in a respectable manner than you will at church. But God commands us to go to church. Go to church. It's the right thing to do. They spread the gospel. At the church I went to, that's the first thing they talked about is how many countries that they're spreading the gospel to. Amen. I'm not arguing with that. I'm on board 150%. But to deny the fact that there's evil people in that church that get the legitimacy off I'm good would be denying the truth. That's partly how they get control of the government. They lie to you about being Christian. There's not. Many will be deceitful. Many, not one or two, a heck of a lot of them. So the pastor at the church, and we're going to tell you the Guthrie model and the government model, and the but at the end. But let me just tell you, the sincerity of my message, it's sincere. It's Christian foundation, on a Christian foundation. The pastor preached a message, very excellent message. A difficult message. One of the hardest things in the Christian faith is loving our enemies. It's hard. It's hard, some of the evil wickedness that they do. You look at the Guthrie case. Loving the people that have abducted her. And the Bible teaches that. Don't love the sin, love your enemies. And so this message was about, if you love people that love you just for a benefit, they love you, and everybody does that. Somebody loves you, and you love them because they're benefiting you by loving them. But what about people in the government that aren't good, that abduct and steal and grow this apparatus that is horrific against Tennessee? Jesus' teaching was that we should love our enemies. That's hard. That's Christian. That's a little different. Love people that don't deserve it. And he said not be a doormat. But what I'm saying is he said this, and I take it to heart. A Christian message from a Christian church, founded on the Christian Bible. It's the truth. Very difficult. It's not all the truth. That was a message that we have trouble with. I have another message that's also true, that is in compliance with love your enemy. It is, every bit of it. I know what I'm talking about. I have a doctor of jurisprudence and passed the bar twice. This is based on science, Master of Arts in Sociology. He said three things. He said, it's important when dealing with haters and dealing with the world and dealing with other people and messaging. It is what you say. What you say is important. Make sure it's truthful. One of the 10 Commandments. Don't bear false witness. What you say And also, how you say it is important too. How you say it. And when you say it. Now, his thing was to think about what you're going to say, let it sit for a few days. If it still resonates, then say it. You know, don't just blurt something out the last of the moment. Now, I've thought about this. And this is the honest truth. This isn't just blurting out. This isn't just blurting out falsehoods. And this is loving our enemies. What I say is beneficial to them because they need to correct their ways, because even if they don't pay on this planet, and I believe they will, they'll pay in the next life. Like my mother used to say, we're not in heaven yet. We're not in heaven yet. Everything's not going to get sorted out on this earth. We need to sort out freedom of speech so that we can spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, and Christians need to speak against evil. So what I say is the truth, and how I say it is in respect and love and dignity, but with full force and impact to let you know the gravity. And as far as when I say it, I'm saying it right now. I've thought about it, and it's the truth. Been saying it. It's a mission from God. So these people in government power, buy government power with all their money, create an image of themselves that's not true, have a proxy of people that are in the government, that have government jobs, that benefit from the government, this huge apparatus that has an incentive to keep getting bigger and bigger. It's a business off abductions, a lot, and other evil stuff, and blackmail. It is. That's your government, Tennessee. That's the truth. You won't hear that anywhere else. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. Subscribe. Support the channel if you can. Help me keep going, putting this stuff out. It may not continue. It has to be self-funded. And so then when they're in power, these people that are a proxy of the government, that benefit, spread a message that the governor's good, the governor's a great man. It makes everybody believe that. And then they get the sympathizers that agree with the government, and they don't get a benefit, but they vote for the government. And then there's only a small percent, only about 39% of people in Tennessee decided the governor's race. So there's a whole percentage that didn't decide, that weren't deceived, just set it out. But that's the but part. So then they get in power, and they're in power, and then they set up their blackmail apparatus. And that's what the government in Tennessee does. It's a blackmail apparatus. And they're duly elected by fraud and falsehoods, but they're elected and legitimate as far as that goes. And legitimate. But they're legitimate as far as that goes, as far as it is. But I'm pointing out where we can get a legitimate government that doesn't blackmail. So, and then the governor makes the laws, promotes the arbitrators of the law that blackmail you. He promotes the blackmailers, the Tennessee judges. Now, not all of them are evil and wicked. Not all of them. A majority of them, a lot of them. There's some few good judges, not many. But then the governor promotes the arbitrators that arbitrate for him, that arbitrate for the blackmail, that arbitrate for the criminal activity that is adjudicated out of an office of supposed legitimacy, lies that, just like the Guthrie case, benefits them, grows their government apparatus, whether or not you've done anything or not. So that's how it works. You say they don't. It works for them well. It feeds their families, makes them happy, fat, and well off, and legitimate, and everything's wonderful and fine. But you're the Guthries. You're victimized. They take your loved ones. They take you and benefit from it when you ain't done nothing. You deserve freedom. You deserve better than what they're giving you. And it's the same system. So here we go. Here's the Roger Page, local boy, Roger Page, sworn as a justice, Tennessee Supreme Court. Look at that. Bill Haslam getting his abductor that will rule for him. He'll rule for him against you. He'll rule for him against you. That's crooked. That's what he does. That's what he did. I've had cases before him where he adjudicated a falsehood for the rich governor. Illegitimately, something completely false. He adjudicated that a foreigner is in public power in the state now as a lawyer. That's what he adjudicated. So he adjudicated whatever this man wants for votes. So they get power and they appoint judges. So they own the legal system. They own the system that has abducted your loved one. The person that's demanding money from you owns that system. That's wicked as hell, isn't it? Yeah. If they used it for a legitimate purpose to fight crime and evil, then it would be good. But they don't use it for that purpose, I'm telling you. If you have some kind of inkling of maybe the government's not right, maybe they don't do right, then I'm here to tell you it's 10 times worse than what you think. Look at the Guthrie case, similar to that. That's the government model. Look at that, what they're doing, and then apply that to the Tennessee government. Absolutely, positively, it's comparable, 150%. So let's look at this right here. This is another Tennessee justice. There's Governor Bill Has-Been. There's another judge. He's swearing in a judge. Governor Has-Been swears in judge. So he's swearing in these people. He's swearing in these people that are abducting your family. That's the truth. You say, well, they've committed crimes. Did the Guthries commit any crime or deserve any of that? What's happening to them? No. Are a lot of people that are abducted by these judges and found guilty doing something wrong? No, they're not. They're innocent. People say everybody in jail says they're innocent. A lot of them are. A lot of them are. Have you ever thought about that? And when you wake up in a jail cell without a mattress, a bologna sandwich with green bread, and you say, right now, Charles Van Morgan's a dirty liar, and you wake up like that and say, but I didn't do anything wrong, and, yeah, then they'll put a felony on you, you can't vote. Then it's a little too late. So you might ought to listen to me now. I'm telling you the cold, hard facts. They nominate the abductors. They do every day in Tennessee. The evil people, just look at it. Just think about it. The evil people that abducted that 84-year-old lady. The evil people that have done that. Right there. I'm not saying they abducted Guthrie. They abduct Tennesseans every day, falsely. For money. That's what they do it for. Evil wickedness, cold heart, conscience seared. They have none. If you're expecting them to do right, and you think you can talk to them in a legitimate, fair manner and discuss things with them, good luck with that. It won't work. Do you really think the Guthries have a fair dealing grounds with the people that abducted their mother at 2 o'clock in the morning and blood on the front porch? And the people that are trying to exploit her for money? I have to deal with this guy's cigarette here. So downwind, have to smoke, breathe somebody's cigarette. Might have to go somewhere else. So I mean, some smokers are rude. Yeah. That's just wonderful. So here's what a non-smoker does. Now he's here smoking a cigarette, and I'm downwind, and I don't smoke. So I'm just saying, smokers. I mean, that's just outside. That's rude. Maybe if I cough enough, he'll get it in. So we may have to go somewhere else. But that's just rude. Yeah, smoker. maybe he'll get it. Yeah. I don't smoke. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So anyway, right here live in public. He did apologize. That's good. But so the Tennessee government has made laws that benefits them in abducting you. Oh, that's a blank, bold statement. That's crazy. Well, let me show you. Think about the Guthrie case. For money, abducted that lady. The state of Tennessee abducts you and get money for it. They made it a law. They benefit off of your abductions. Think about the DUI arrest. They benefit off putting innocent people in jail. There's a financial gain. Builds the apparatus, more jobs for them to give to people who vote for them. Yeah, that's what they do. That's exactly what they do. Nobody else says that. I'm saying it. From a scientific point of view, I don't have my name on the side of a building because I gave them a lot of money that was gotten off your demise, like the former governor has. I have my name on a degree from the University of Tennessee that taught me science, and what I'm telling you, it's real. It's not what they want to hear. I'm pointing out the abductors. They're evil. The state people in state power and the Tennessee government are evil as hell. Listen to me. If you don't, you might wake up on death row. I didn't do anything. That doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter. That 84-year-old lady didn't do anything either. They don't care about that. They care about your money. Their conscience is seared. They're not just at all. They're not open to negotiation. They don't care. The only way that we can contest them, not with violence, is to know the truth. Point out how dirty they are. Do you want to say the abductors of that lady have blood all over the place, may be able to negotiate, and they're really good people, they just made a mistake? No, you call them out for the evil they are. That doesn't mean that we don't love them and try to win them and hope for that they change their heart before they die and burn in hell. But you can't play with a snake. It will bite you. The state of Tennessee is a dirty, rotten snake that's biting people every day, and nobody's saying a damn thing about it, but I am. I'm calling out for what it is. Now look at this. Public officer employees, retirement system. They benefit off this big, huge abduction apparatus in the state of Tennessee. Nobody calls it that. That's what it is. You're reading the paper, read between the lines, arresting people that ain't even drunk. It's an abduction apparatus. Innocent people. And that's not all the people that are abducted. That's the ones that we know about. It's such a huge issue, such a huge problem, that it shows up just a little bit where they report it in the news. That's just the tip of the iceberg. If you looked at all the underneath, all the people that are abducted wrongfully and charged with crimes because of their corrupt judicial and criminal justice apparatus, the criminal conspiracy, it would blow your mind. You would be frightened, and I'm trying to frighten you justifiably so that you will do something about it. And you need to. And I'm showing you receipts. They don't benefit from putting somebody in jail. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. That's why they do what they do. It's about the money. It's about their wicked, seared conscience. And it's good for them that I point this out. So here's the retirement system. They get money off arresting you falsely. They get money off violating your constitutional rights. So they do it. You pay them. Now here's how they do it. So look at this right here. Supervised retirement system. Attorney General's retirement system. Section 8, 622. Judges and Attorney General's retirement tax. Proposed levy and collection. So what happens is they've made a law, 8622. They've made a law to where the judges in the state of Tennessee got my phone. The judges, like, share, and comment. The judges in the state of Tennessee, Judge Sword, he'll find you guilty as hell and dog you after he found you guilty. There's the governor that promotes the judge that abducts you. I think he does. So they've made a law in the state of Tennessee that Judge Sword, everybody finds guilty, everybody that gets in the system, that they get money for fines and court costs. It's a business that if there's nobody coming in, no false arrests, no false imprisonments, no government going out here looking for what's not there, crimes that aren't there, no government employees going to Guthrie's house and abducting her, then there's no Guthrie's that are going to pay a ransom. The same difference. It's worse. People in government power that legitimize that. So here is the city, Knoxville City. There shall be imposed, it's 852. there shall impose an additional $1.75 charge upon city cases docketed in the city court, which shall be taxed and collected as other costs upon city cases in the court. The proceeds of such charges shall be paid monthly to the city judge's retirement fund. So, what shall be a separate, distinct fund to be managed by the treasurer? The treasurer shall be authorized to make investments in such funds in such investments are permitted by code. So, Section 852 of the City Code. City Code. There shall be imposed an additional $1.75. That adds up. Charge upon city cases docketed in the city court, which shall be taxed and collected as other court costs. Upon city cases in the court, the proceeds of such charges shall be paid monthly to the judge's retirement fund. So, if a cop writes you a ticket, it ought to be about public safety. I mean, what should it be about? If somebody goes to the Guthrie's house, it ought to be to bring her food or go around the house and make sure it's safe. What if they get paid to go in there and abduct her? What if the government gets paid to exploit you? Then will they do that? Yeah, they do all the time. So let me underline this. So your people say, oh, you don't know what the government is abducting people, and the government is blackmailing people. Yeah, they are. Here's the code, 852. This is the city code. There's another code. So do you think it's right? I don't. What do you think? That the government benefits from what should be public safety. So what if there's not traffic violations or as many as they need? Then what are they going to do? They're going to make them up? No, they wouldn't do that. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. So, because there's a financial incentive. No one would go in an 84-year-old lady's house at night and abduct her and then demand money, would they? That's what's going on now. The government wouldn't go out and make crimes that don't exist in order for the judge to retire high on the hog, would they? Yeah, they would. They certainly, most certainly, absolutely, positively, from a scientific perspective, Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News, do it all the damn time. I've been in the system, out of the system. I know how they operate. Say something about it and they'll ostracize it. They'll say you're committed a crime, you did this, you did that, and none of it you did because you're going against pointing out their exploitation of the mass populace. Subscribe to this channel. Remember the brand name. They might take me off here for showing this. That's the law right there, black and white. Go look it up yourself if you don't think that's true. And I'll underline it. So $1.75, that adds up. Now that's just one city charge. There's more. The proceeds, such charges shall be paid monthly to the judge's retirement fund. And yeah, we'll highlight that. So the cases where they find crimes, they go out and find crimes. And I'm telling you, a lot of times it's not there. That's the truth. It's not. So they go out and find crimes that's not there, bring into the system, you pay a fine, $1.75, goes to the city judge. But if they get involved in an incident, there's backroom deals where they don't pay their $1.75. And here it's underlined right here. It's underlined right here. So such $1.75, and that's a case. That's just a city. Such charge shall be paid monthly to the city judge's retirement fund. Section 852. So that's a judge in the city of Knoxville benefiting from going out and getting people, abducting them in the system. Abductions. It's what it is. Issuing summons to come to court. You're out here. They say you committed a crime, sign on the bottom line, go to court, pay the judge $1.75, bunches of them. Now, if they don't get enough from the court fines, then it has to come out of government coffers. It has to come out of city other coffers. So it says, the city treasurer shall make payments of all benefits provided under the division to persons entitled thereto, and he may retain such employees and agents as may be necessary to administer the fund. He may retain such employees and agents as necessary to administer the fund. So they can hire people based on the fines that they allege you committed a criminal act, and their judge benefits off the crime, so he's going to adjudicate you're guilty in a lot of cases, I believe. And the fund does not contain, if the fund does not contain sufficient balance any time to pay the monthly retirement benefits provided in the division, such benefits shall be payable from the general funds of the city. So if they don't collect enough court fines and costs from their abduction of innocent citizens by accusing them of crimes, then they have to pay it out of the city. So there's a financial incentive. He gets his money no matter what. There's a financial incentive for him to be a self-sustaining court system that benefits him off what they allege is to be providing for public safety. And I don't believe that it is, because they're not the one that goes in the system. So that's just one. The city gets a benefit off bringing people, abducting them, bringing them into the criminal justice apparatus. That's not by legitimate, by honest judges. The judges are even approved by them. So here's the other county litigation taxes. In addition to matching these state litigation taxes, authorized to alleviate a litigation tax of $6 per case filed in General Sessions Court, a court where the General Sessions judge serves as judge. So there's a $6 charge if you get drug into General Sessions that goes to the judge's retirement under the county. That's just the city. This is the county. So they get money. They get money for dragging into the system. And the Attorney General issues opinions indicating the county's, okay. So in addition to set forth above, jailhouse, court, as much as 25 of this tax may be used courthouse security. So 25 of the taxes on every case gets used for them to hire a security, for them to hire the county sheriff to protect the judges because while they're adjudicating against you. So you literally pay them to protect them. So we had a case, well known, Judge Baumgardner, sitting up here in the courtroom, raping women in the courtroom. Raping women in the courtroom. As a Christian, you shouldn't support, condone that type of abuse by women, no matter who's doing it. And the government was doing it. And that's the only case that's happened, right? I mean, Kentucky, the case the other day, running a brothel out of the courthouse. I mean, let's call it out for what it is. You think that stuff still doesn't happen? It does. So here's the facts. The facts. So you pay $25, and also in your taxes, $25 for courthouse security to protect the judge and protect judges that rule against you, that allow these abductions by the public. You pay $25 for them to hire somebody to protect you while they're in the courthouse raping people. So you're literally paying them to protect their crimes. That's what's going on. That's the truth. It's real. It happened. That's one isolated case. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's all the time. They also adjudicate against you. And you got to sit there and listen to them dog you and run you down using the judge's legitimacy, sitting on the judge's seat to run you down, accuse you of all kind of heinous things, and you pay for them to protect you while they're doing that. That's wicked, isn't it? So here's the county. So I'm telling you the ransom, the Guthrie case, they won't, I think it's $5 million, $6 million. Tennessee, judges, the ransom off hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people all across the state every day. Section 8.2, Bill of Costs on County Ordinances. That's just here. They get the following bill of costs shall be assessed on all county ordinance violations. Violations, county ordinance violations. And the judge gets $6. $6 for every violation. For every violation, let me just show you this. For every violation, and that's not counting the county, for every violation, according to them. According to them. So, wow, that's a pretty good deal. They get to decide. Judge, jury, and financier. Judge, jury, and financier. So they get money, and they decide. Look, he decides whether he gets part of a retirement from you. He decides whether or not you pay him, and if he finds you guilty, you pay him. He decides whether or not you pay a fine that goes to him directly in his pocket, right there. He decides whether or not he gets that money. Got a financial incentive. The abductor, judge, jury, and executioner. And he elected him. He's the one that appointed him. He got elected. He helped. And he gets his financial incentive. And these are the people that decide. These are the people that decide. And a lot of them are crooks. I'm not saying those specifically are, but you can see the setup. These are people that decide that you are a violator. And they get money. These judges right here. Look at this. Draw the circle. Let's draw the map out here so you can connect the dots so it can be real clear to you. We'll draw the map. Cool. He helps him with a proxy get elected. E-L-E-C-T-E. He helps him get elected. So he promotes him to judge. So he helps him get elected. He promotes him to judge. He spreads a message. He spreads a message for him. He spreads a message. Just like I'm spreading a message. I'm spreading a message against him. And then he benefits financially from a job, and from declaring you a violator and getting money in his pocket every time he does that. That's called blackmail. Blackmail at its worst, the government. Same as a Guthrie case. But he'll adjudicate right. He'll be fair and loses $6 a head in his great fancy retirement for him and his family. I mean, his family benefits. It's all a big proxy of government, and they're expanding like a Green Bay tree. You've seen the wicked in great power expanding at your expense. It'd be fine if they were expanding a corporation that benefits society. Their criminal justice system don't benefit society, it benefits them. If their criminal justice system was working and benefited you, there'd be a lot of them dirtbags behind bars. They're criminals. They're corrupt, wicked people that are abducting you in the middle of the night, comparatively, as an analogy, and then their conscience is seared, they're blackmailing you, finding you to be a violator, and you're paying for them to be protected. It's worse than the Guthrie case. Nobody says that like I do. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. From a scientific perspective, I do have a degree. My name's not on the building because I gave exploited money to the university. My name's on the building because I studied how to figure this stuff out. And you figured it out too. You just had nobody brave enough to tell you. So support the channel. Help me keep telling you the truth. These are ordinances that tell you specifically. Now you ask AI and they'll say, well, they don't do this. This is the ordinances that they made. They made these laws to benefit themselves. They own the legislature. The abductors, the people that, and as an analogy, similar to the abductors of Guthrie, his mother, 84 other ones, are the ones that wrote the law that allow them to do this. It makes it legal. It's worse than the Guthrie case. So there's two laws that make them benefit off going out and abducting you, but I didn't do anything. They don't care. They get money. You think the Guthries abducted that lady? Those people abducted the Guthries' mother, and they cared about doing right and helping her? There's blood all over the front porch. They did it for money. They do it. These people in government power in the state of Tennessee are doing it for money. It's not about your safety. They don't care. Blood all over the place. Horrific, heinous crimes all over the state of Tennessee because the people in power are dirty as hell. You say they're Christian. They go to church. When you're sitting in a church, look around. You should go there. Not every one of them are Christian. That's biblical. A lot of them. Lord, yeah, you're not one of mine. I am. I'm telling you the truth. God's honest truth. And it's the truth. And wait till the end. I'm going to tell you the but. On the icon, it talks about the evil and it says but. On the narrative description of the video, it says but. Listen till the end. We'll tell you that part. That's an important part. But I got to tell you how bad it is. It's horrible. It's horrific. This is true. They're doing that to you. And if you don't believe me, you don't have to. I believe that. I think this is true. I know absolutely it is. And the truth is not bad to tell. They commit defamation. These judges, to keep their job, to keep their profits. Somebody like me comes out and speaks out against them, they defame me, and you can't even sue them for defamation. They've established laws that make, when they commit defamation, it's privileged defamation. Defamation is unprivileged, false communication that tends to lower someone in the standing of the community, communicate to at least a third person, that causes other people not to want to associate with him that could. So they have made a law for themselves that they can commit defamation. They can have false communication about you, disseminate to the public that lowers you in the standing of the community. This causes other people not to want to deal with me. But it's privilege. They made it privilege. They say we can defame people, but we're going to carve off our judicial area to where we can say bad, false stuff, but you can't sue us. So we're going to privilege us. We're going to exempt us from the rules of everyday people. So we can do the most heinous abductions and blackmail as we want to and enjoy the proceeds of our abduction. So, at least in the Guthrie case, that stuff's illegal what they're doing. They're doing the same thing in Tennessee. It's not even legal. They've broken the laws. They own the legislators where they do whatever they want to do. Anytime they want to do it, make it legal and legitimate and sell their proxy to the public. We're good people. No, you're not. No, they're not good people. They're wicked people. They're heinous people. Their conscience is seared. They call it government services, but you don't ask for the service of being arrested, jailed, or supervised. So you go out here and they want a few more dollars in their retirement, and they have one of their officers arrest you. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't care. They're exempt. They have immunity and arrest you and put you in jail. You pay for them putting you in jail. You pay for them to get another jailer to increase their criminal justice apparatus to make it huge to put you in jail. If their criminal justice apparatus is about crime, then why is it not slowing down? Why is it getting huge? Because it's not about criminal justice. It's about padding their pockets, making a living off you. It's about abducting you in the middle of the night, like the Guthrie case, and benefiting off their blackmail. It's horrific. It's evil. Evil people in power in the state of Tennessee. Nobody volunteers to lose their freedom, and that's what the criminal justice apparatus does in Tennessee, condoned from the governor of the state of Tennessee, who makes claims to be a Christian. Wow, that's the truth. When you hear it anywhere else, like, share, comment, subscribe, and pay to help me get this message out. They got an apparatus getting their message out. They write them every day, and they're false opinions that are pure lies, a lot of them. They call it government service, but it's not. No one asked to be put in that hellhole that you don't deserve, that you didn't do. And listen to me, a lot of people don't. And then they put a felony on you where you can't even vote them out. Real good little situation they got going on here, and people are too afraid to say anything about it. I'm calling it out for what it is. It's worse than the Guthrie case. Compare it. It's comparable. Trust me, comparable. You ever heard anybody talk like this? Yeah. Sent from God to tell you the truth. Put me through the fire. I know what I'm talking about. And we're going to go into some more details, some more receipts I'll show you some facts, cold, hard facts that substantiate what I'm telling you. It's not just blanket, oh, they're arresting false people that didn't do anything. I'll show you facts in cases of dirty people in government power that are doing this to you. Tell you what they did. They take your freedom, then charge you for the process. That's what they do in Tennessee. They abduct you in the middle of the night and charge you for the abduction. Booking fee, court costs, litigation taxes, probation fees, jail fees. You pay for all that. The more false people, the more people that they falsely arrest, the more money that they make, the bigger system they got. But you say it's false arrest, it's false abduction. Yeah, it is. It's bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty sick. It's pretty pathetic. It's pretty damn evil. And that's going on all the time, every day. Now, if you want to live in that kind of state and go along with the program, then that's your prerogative. I'm not violent like them. I just put out the truth. It's on you what you believe. I'll put it in your ears and tell you the truth of the matter. That's the truth. It's the end times. It's getting worse. These people in government power are wicked. Wicked. It's wicked what they did to that 84-year-old woman. Abduct her, put her through that evil, wicked event. It's wicked what they're doing to that family, extracting money out of them. Similarly, it's wicked what the Tennessee government, people in power, are doing in the state of Tennessee under an alleged Christian governor, and then extracting money out of you, blackmailing you. It is wicked what they're doing. I'm calling it out for what it is. And it's good for them. They need to apologize for what they're doing. All this stuff you pay for, you didn't do. They got the power to do it, and they do it and make it legal for them to do. So, human contact equals revenue in this system. It's supposed to be free. You're a free person. You walk down the sidewalk and talk about the government, run them down. Should be able to do that. It's America. It's not Russia, is it? But human contact is revenue. If I'm walking down the sidewalk saying the government is wicked, I think that they arrest people and put them in jail because they benefit from court costs and fines directly in their retirement and adjudicate them guilty when they did nothing. I'm allowed to say that in the government. They're allowed to stand up and say that's not true. We're honest and fair, and we do right, and we're not elected by a proxy. Yeah, they are. But if they arrest me, they get money. They already did. That's what I was doing. They made money off me for telling the truth in Chattanooga. That's what they did. They made money. I didn't do anything wrong. Did they get a conviction? No. So, arrest, court, plea, probator, jail, collections. Every step has a price tag. For your abduction, like an 84-year-old lady in the middle of the night, that's what the government in the state of Tennessee has legalized through their crooked, corrupt judicial system, their crooked, corrupt legislators that are bought and paid for. Almost every damn one of them. The retirement pipeline. Tennessee law funds judicial and prosecutor retirement with court-imposed taxes. So if they don't have a big criminal justice bringing people into the system, if there's not a lot of crime, then they don't get much retirement. So if they create crime that doesn't exist or go after the wrong crime and arrest false people, then they get a lot of money. So they have a financial incentive to do that, just like the financial incentive in the Guthrie case. You say people wouldn't do that. They're doing it out there, aren't they? The people are corrupt, wicked, corrupt. It's got national attention. Why don't this national attention about the crooked, corrupt Tennessee judiciary and Tennessee attorney generals that also get money in their retirement system? How wicked these people are. It's blackmail all over the state. They got a gun. You even pay for the gun that they enforce rogue laws on you, say you broke laws that you didn't even break. Does anybody ever say that? I'm saying it. I'm saying it. And it's the truth. So they say it's cost recovery, but the cost existed because they created the system. Because they need jobs. And the coercion. If you can't pay, they punish you more. Late fees, collections, warrants, and jail time. Poverty becomes a violation. You got to work for them. They'll put you in jail even if you didn't commit a crime. That's just the cold hard truth. The moral truth. They fund government jobs by persecuting the public. That's the way it is in the crooked state of Tennessee. This is Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News from an educated perspective. And I'm telling you the truth. If you think that you're going to escape, come out of this unscathed because you do right, what I'm trying to explain to you, that 84-year-old lady didn't do anything wrong. She was a church goer. She was a mother, a loved mother, a very good mother, according to her children and according to other people. And they did this to her wrongly. The government will do this to you wrongly. It's not something that you can ignore. I implore you. I'm not making money off this, not much. It puts me in danger. Please support the channel so I can put out more of this. I don't know how long it'll continue. It has to be somewhat self-funding to continue to perpetrate, to continue to tell the truth against these wicked people. They fund government jobs by persecuting the public. Similar to the Guthrie case. They do. That's a good analogy. That's not justice, that's extraction. Wicked people in government power, very wicked. You struggle to live, they retire comfortably. They got that TCA code, county code, city code. These judges are going to get their retirement, and they're going to adjudicate fairly, according to the law and the facts. No, they're not. No, they're not. They got a financial incentive. They care about their kids and their family. They could care less about you or public safety. They don't even care about public safety. It's not about public safety. Let's take that off the table. It's about their wealth. They even endanger themselves, because if they cared about public safety, they'd arrest a lot of the judiciary and a lot of public officials. It's up to us to do something about it, and that's the best part of things. You struggle to live, they retire comfortably. But if the system's not big, if they don't go after the Guthrie old lady, then they don't get the chance to get in $6 million. If they don't persecute people wrongfully, they don't get a big bank account. The system doesn't grow. They want it to grow so that they can have more jobs, more power. The governor can promise more people jobs because the system's big, off exploiting you. That's what's going on. They violate your rights and then they charge you for it. That's the government in the state of Tennessee. It is. Every bit is. And do you want to put up with that? I wouldn't. I'm not. I'm saying something about it. How long I'll do it depends on how much financing we'll get. And so support the channel. If you can't, that's fine. At least like and share. No one else says this. No one else tells the truth. This is a scientific point of view, a comparison of the Guthrie case, worldwide attention, horrific, sad, evil. The Tennessee people in government power right now. Horrific, bad, evil about money, exploitation, blackmail. It's wicked, it's wrong, using the criminal justice apparatus and the legal system to do that to you. Just like the Guthrie. Sad what they're going through. It's sad what you're going through. I'm speaking up for you. I'm your representative out here on the sidewalk. They won't let me in that dirty courthouse. I can't stand the stench in there from these wicked people. They retire every day, high on the hog, but they've exploited you to get there. A lot of people in jail while they go in retirement that shouldn't be there. It's wrong what they're doing. It's evil, wickedness in high places. I'm calling it out for what they are. And I'm not saying be violent to them. As bad as it is, and this is the last thing I'm going to tell, as bad as it is, and pay close attention to this. As bad as it is, and that's my final comment, there's a but, there's a however. Listen to this, and it's bad. So let me talk about some of my credentials. I started law enforcement May 19th, 1989, law enforcement training certificate. So I know what I'm talking about. I was in the government. Here's one of my certificates from Standardized Field Sobriety from 1992. I went to the State Academy in 91, signed by Governor Ray McWhorter, and here's some of the stuff I'm going to talk about in the end that we can do about this horrific evil. People got to let you know they're here. And so I got a lot to say about that, how evil the situation is. I need to point that out. Evil, evil, evil. Evil. And let's talk about some more of the evil that's going on before I top it off with the cure. And it's a good one. It's a good one. Stay tuned. It's not a pretty good one, but it's a good one. It's a good one. That's why I'm here today. Let's talk about right here some of the evil people in power. Some of the evil people in power and the state laws that protect them. The corruption of human judges is a reoccurring theme in the Bible, highlighting the moral and ethical failures of these entrusted with the responsibility of administrating justice. The corruption is often depicted as a deviation from God's standards, leading to societal decay. There's a societal decay and divine judgment. In the Old Testament, the role of judges was crucial for maintaining justice and righteousness within the community. However, the corruption of judges is frequently condemned. In Deuteronomy 16:19, the Israelites were commanded, do not deny justice or show partiality. Do not accept a bribe, for bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and twists the words of the righteous. The command underscores the expectation that judges should be impartial and incorruptible. And when they're getting a benefit for judging you guilty, that's not impartial. The prophet Samuel's sons, Joel and Abijah, serve as a poignant example of judicial corruption. In Samuel 8:3, it is recorded, but his sons did not walk in his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain, accepted bribes, and perverted justice. The corruption led to the people's demand for a king, illustrating how the failure of judges can have far-reaching consequences. Now, the source from this is Bible Hub. It's talking about judicial corruption. The prophet Micah also speaks against corrupt judges, saying, here leaders judge for a bribe, or priests teach for a price, and the prophets practice divination for money. Yet they lean upon the Lord, saying, is not the Lord among us? No, disaster will come upon us. Micah 3:11. The passage highlights the hypocrisy and false security of those who pervert justice while claiming divine favor. This is their warning. You're going to get caught. It's not right what you're doing. It's wickedness. Same as the Guthrie case. I'm telling you. You're not getting by with anything. You say we got power and might. You even pay for our might. By God. Now, that's just part of the end. In the New Testament, Jesus addresses the issue of unjust judges in the parable of the persistent widow. Luke 18:2-5. Jesus describes a judge who neither feared God nor respected men. These judges don't fear God and they don't respect men. The judges in the state of Tennessee, they don't fear God or respect me. They don't respect you. That's not something new. Jesus said that. I'm saying that. Be Christ-like. I'm saying what Jesus is saying. That's pretty Christ-like. That's the how we say it, when and when we say it, and why we say it. Despite his lack of integrity, the judge eventually, Jesus described a judge who neither feared God nor respected men. Despite his lack of integrity, the judge eventually grants justice to the widow due to her persistence. I demand justice and judgment, and I'm bringing people with me. Subscribe to the channel. Spread the message. We got power with God. With God. And the righteous judgment of God, encouraging believers to trust in God's ultimate justice. I'm calling for God's ultimate justice on these wicked abductors, just like they did that 84-year-old woman, calling that analogy the same. These wicked justices in the state of Tennessee, promoted by a governor that does wicked stuff, standing behind that he's a righteous person. No, he's not. Even says that he'll uncover injustice wherever he finds it, and then just ignores it and promotes people that cause more of it. I know he does it. I've seen it, and I'll show you some pictures of some people that he's promoted that are wicked as hell. I know them personally, and they're dirty, and I'm not the only one that says that. They're dirty as can be, and I'll show you a prime example of dirty people in public power that bring you into a system that finds you guilty for no damn reason. They've done it to me. God's put me through an experience. I fought a lion and a bear. I know what I'm talking about. And we'll show you an example. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite to require it with thine hand. I've seen it personally. And then we'll tell you the end of the matter. Here is the lady that caused the fatalities in Tennessee, the evil, the abductions. That when I was in government service, the last year I served was in 2011. The fatality rate was 947 people that year died in drunk driving racing. This was a drop of 50 fatalities from 2010 to 2011. Motor vehicle deaths in 2011 occurred at a rate of 15.6 per thousand, population 7.1%, decrease from 2010. Although the total deaths were down 56%, vehicle occupants killed were not wearing seatbelts. Impaired driving. State troopers arrested 4,609 impaired drivers in 2011, 39% increase from the previous years. So this is saying that the last year that I worked, less people were killed on Tennessee highways because of state troopers arresting more drunk drivers. That year I was out on the road doing my job. I arrested more drunk drivers than any trooper in the state. So I was reducing fatalities. When you look at whether or not somebody's good, you look at the end result of what they're doing. I reduced fatalities in the state of Tennessee. So this is saying 947 fatalities. I arrested more people for drunk driving than anybody in the state. State troopers arrested 4,689. I arrested over 100 of those, more than any trooper in the state of Tennessee. So they abducted me wrongly, took me off my job, lied on me, blackmailed me, even offered me a deal if I would drop my case to try to get my job back. I didn't drop it because it's not right. I'm not going along with blackmail. I didn't do it. And in 2011, Tennessee recorded 9 episodes of related traffic fatalities, lowest of any year previous in the recent decade. This represents a significant decrease from previous years, making the lowest number of traffic fatalities in the state in 48 years. So since 1963, when I was out on the road in 2011, I caused the fatality rate to be lower since 1963, a year before I was born. That's a dramatic increase in public safety. More of your families could go home. The state of Tennessee, the wickedness of the state of Tennessee, stopped that. They stopped that. Blackmail, abductions, wrong. This was a drop of over 50 fatalities from 2010 to 2011. So when I was out on the road, I was doing right. I was protecting the public, just like I'm protecting you now. It's the same thing. So they took me off the road. Major Heatherly took me off the road. Major Stacy Heatherly, a major of the Highway Patrol. She was a sergeant then. Committed all kinds of violations. Committed violations since then, broke the law. But the judges adjudicate whether or not you're guilty of breaking the law or don't adjudicate whether or not they're breaking the law. The judges adjudicated favorable things about somebody committing criminal acts, which was her, and continue to take my job away from me, causing you to get killed. I'm talking about people in government power, blood all over the place, blood all over the place. Cold hard truth. I'm not afraid, I'm afraid of God. God expects me to tell the truth, I'm telling it. We're supposed to point out government corruption for the benefit of the public. Now look at now since they took me off the road. Since Major Stacy Heatherly took me off the road. Since Lionel Russell, state representative, is making laws right now today to protect their evil and corruption. That's what he's doing. By their proxy, elected by their proxy. He's a good person. They got money to put that out to a few people that are benefiting off him, getting jobs and money, and then they're selling that to the public, and people think that he's a good person. No, he's not. He's a crook. He's a criminal. He's caused mass death and fatalities all across Tennessee. Lord, get your heart right with God. He knows my name. He's not a good man. Tennessee traffic fatalities in 2025 dropped by approximately 14%. to 1,045 deaths. So they've dropped, but it's still above what I put it down to. So they're bragging about it's dropped. It's not dropped since I was out on the road. They haven't replicated that. If they wanted to do right, they'd clear the record, put me back on the road today. But they won't do that, and I won't relent. I won't relent what I'm doing to them. So, according to Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security data, there are 1,194 deaths in 2024. When I was on the road, there was less than 1,000. I lowered the fatality rate. So look at this. This is what the state's done wrong. Abducting, like the Guthrie case. Blood all over the place. Blackmail. So, despite the recent improvements in 2024 and 2025, traffic fatalities in Tennessee increased by over 20% in the past decade, according to 2025 report. So, when I was out on the road, 20% less people were killed. Now, those are just numbers, but I'm talking about your children came home when I was on the road, and today people are not getting their children at home because I'm not out on the road because of the Guthrie case, the Tennessee evil blackmail abduction case. That's who these people are, just like that. It's comparable similarly. So, that's what they did under this lady here, this crooked lady here. A proxy of people. These are good people. These are good people in government power. It's what they like to tell you. They don't like to hear the other side. The other side is, no, they're not good people. They're crooked. This lady here, Major Stacey Heatherly, calls people to get killed. The Vietnam Veterans of America is honoring her. They're giving her an honor. They're stepping over bodies, giving her an honor. Vietnam veterans. She's got a certificate from the Vietnam veterans calling her good. Calling her good. A proxy of people. She's a good person. Fooling these Vietnam veterans. Now these Vietnam veterans are praising her. Wow. But they have another Vietnam veteran that they ought to be praising, somebody that went over to a war and fought for this country. Instead of doing what's right, the Vietnam Veterans chapter in Knoxville, I'm calling them out. I'll call out evil wherever I find it. It's with the Vietnam veterans in Tennessee. They're praising a lady just because she's in power that has caused blood and sorrow and bad things to happen all over the state of Tennessee. The numbers show it. When I was on the road, less people were killed. She took me off the road. She lied, committed crimes. She still committed crimes. She's a drunken sot. And they're giving her an honor. I mean, you're somebody good, give them an honor. It's like the Tin Man. They gave him a brain in the Wizard of Oz. They gave him a degree. He still didn't have a brain. They gave the Lion, he was a coward. They give these people honors to make up for their deficits. That doesn't make up for it. It's like the Wizard of Oz. So they're giving her a degree, giving her an honor. So let's look. Vietnam Veterans America Chapel honored Major Stacey Heatherly with commemorative and plaque, recognizing her service and upcoming retirement. She also shared how the Tennessee Highway Patrol Service communities beyond crashes and accidents. So they're giving her an honor for, I just showed you, causing mass fatalities. So if we give you an honor from the veterans, a legitimate agency, then we're good. She's good. So they give her an honor. Look at this. Give her a plaque the size of California. Look at that plaque they're giving her. Wow. I'm not afraid to. They shouldn't give her a plaque. They're giving her a plaque. She's honorable. What's a plaque for? To say she's honorable? What does she do? I just showed you what she did. She's dangerous to you. She's called people to get killed. She's evil, wicked, drunken sot. If I'm committing defamation, I'll be glad to go into court and argue days and bring witnesses in to prove she's a drunken sot that has caused mass fatalities across the state of Tennessee in her career. She don't deserve an award, but they give her an award. Give her a brain. She's wicked, evil. And 2.1 million people are listening to me say this. And the veterans here in American chapter, 1148, how deceived you are. How deceived you are. I mean, I don't know what you're getting out of that. She's going to write you less tickets. You get in good with the power. And your Vietnam veterans, I respect. I don't respect what you're doing. And I don't respect another thing you're doing. You're giving her an honor. She never went to Vietnam. She has stolen valor. She says she's a member of the 1178th Division of the Army National Guard, retired from there. She's still in valor. She never served. That's a lie. And this man, the Vietnam Veterans of America, The chapter here in Knoxville, the chapter, you know, you're wrong. I appreciate your service, but you ought to serve people who deserve to be served and honor people who deserve honor. She hasn't deserved any honor. I'll show you that. Now, that's wrong what you're doing. I don't care who you are. You can do wrong. Now, I appreciate your service in Vietnam. That doesn't give you the right to give somebody honor that's caused a lot of children not to go home. That's the truth. I'm not afraid of you. Now, I didn't fight in Vietnam. I served on the roads in Tennessee for years and years and risked my life for public safety. Now, I didn't serve in Vietnam. I know somebody that did that you ought to be honoring instead of her. Now, let's look at what they're doing. Let's just talk the truth. I mean, you know, I'm not afraid of these people. I got something that's called the truth. You ought to take that reward and tell the truth about it. She didn't deserve that. You know, did you smell her breath? Was she sober when you gave it to her? Was she on duty without being cleared by a doctor, which is what she did? Why are you giving her an award for? You say because of her service? Her service, I just explained, was one of death and sorrow. She doesn't deserve awards. She deserves to go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. She needs to go to jail. But you look at this Vietnam veterans. Here's a veteran right here. Let's look at this veteran, Larry Bledsoe. Blount County veteran, Larry Bledsoe. There's him when he was a young man, Vietnam veteran. Now, he deserves honor. He lives right here close to Knoxville, but you're honoring her. He's not getting an honor. You're honoring her. She never served in Vietnam. She lied about being in military service. He didn't lie about being in military service. There's a picture of him at Fort Bragg, I think it is. And he deserves an honor that he's not getting. He got hurt in combat. He got hurt by enemy fire in combat. Deserves a Purple Heart and I think a Bronze Star because he got hurt in combat. He's never received his due honors. A veteran that served in combat in Vietnam never received his honors. That he got hurt in combat, hasn't got that, and you're out giving awards to somebody for their service that doesn't deserve that, but you're failing to look at a veteran that's one of y'all. That's not right. You ought to correct that. That's wrong. He deserves his honors, his military service honors that he's never got. Y'all never looked into that. Don't do anything handing out awards to somebody that's stealing valor. How crooked is that? That's crooked. You shouldn't do that. That's wrong. I don't care who you are, pointing out evil where it's at. He deserves his medal, his honors that he's never got. And these veterans in Knoxville are not trying to seek out the truth. They're giving somebody that's in power an award. How convenient is that? That's how stuff gets very mixed up. That is wrong. Unbridled news. You won't hear it anywhere else. I don't care who you are. I call out evil for what it is. You can say whatever you want. People have. I don't care. It's not the truth. The truth matters, has weight and value. So, that's how these people get positions and honor. They don't deserve it. They haven't done anything to deserve it. But now let's go into the but. All this evil and wicked. The government's crooked as hell. Similar to the Guthrie case. They kidnap, exploit, and blackmail Tennesseans every day, all day. And I uncovered that. And it's wicked and it's wrong. But there's a but. However, and I checked just this morning. And there is something good. Now it's not really good, but it's good. It's really good. And it can make a huge difference. And I'll show you what that is. Their deal breaker that will have an effect on the evil that they're perpetrating is the but. And that but is, here's the however. Here's the however in all this bad that makes a difference. The however is, I checked this morning. And I've got a pulse. I'm still alive. Now, I've been knocked down, bloodied, and beat pretty bad. And had the hell knocked out of me. But, and the government exploited, blackmail, the evil, wicked, worst you can think of, almost. Some people have been done worse, and may God bless you. And check your pulse. Tennesseans right now, check your pulse. You still alive? They ain't got it done. We're still alive. We're still in the fight. Look at my icon. We're still in the fight. They haven't taken our life. We're still here. We can still fight this wicked corruption. We're not dead. That lady in the Guthrie case may be dead. I hope not. I pray that she's not. We can still fight. Now, not with violence. Not with violence. That's not what I'm about. God hates violence. The key is to keep your eye focused on where you are going, to look where you want to be. Dream big dreams. Don't focus on where you are today. Keep a positive vision and see yourself accomplishing your goals. We can still fight. There's pulse. We're alive. They teach you in law enforcement. You take a shot, take a round. A lot of people die from non-fatal wounds because they're shot and they think they're supposed to die and they give up. Shock kills a lot of police officers. You take a round, and this is good training. They taught us in law enforcement. Close your eyes and think about your family, your kids, and everybody you care about. And if you're still alive, fight for your family and what you care about. And if you're still alive, you're shot, but you're not dead, you can still fight to stay alive. And we're fighting to stay alive, and we can still fight these evil, corrupt people because we're still alive. So focus on where we're going to be, not where we are now, knocked down, shot, beat up. Open your eyes and attack the evil. Not necessarily attacking. Retreat is attack. Crawl behind the engine compartment of a car to try to keep yourself from continuing to get shot. I'm using an analogy. But if you're still alive, excellent future possibilities exist. My mom told me, look ahead to the future, possibilities and possible good things. I've moved forward in spite of setbacks, some even major. And if you're still alive, we still can. That's the but in this. That's the however. As wicked as the government is, exploiting as they are, as horrible as the Guthrie case is, we're still alive to fight. And one of the most important things you can do is pray. God, help me. In Jesus' name I pray. Help me. Help Tennesseans. Help us. That's powerful. Powerful. I went all across Tennessee asking people to pray for me. And I thank you all for that. And I appreciate it. Still ask for your prayers. But praying ain't the only thing. God expects us to do something. Contribute to the channel. We need to compete every play, compete every day, regardless of the score. The score is horrific. It's horrible. Don't give up hope. Working on better a little every day in spite of unseen progress. Write stuff down. Re-listen to my videos. Write stuff down, so that you don't get swayed by people pressure, because people will lie to you. So write stuff down, Don't dwell on difficulties. Don't focus on the negative. I've told you about the negative. It's there. We need to know that. Don't focus on that. Focus on you're alive. We can fight today. Don't focus on the horrific amount of the fight. It's horrific. It's our duress task. Commit yourself to God today. Have faith in the possibility of the future and us overcoming this wicked government power. There's a life to be lived in all that wickedness. I haven't given up hope. And whatever I have to do, hop, roll, or whatever, I'm going to get back to it. And I'm asking you and Tennesseans too. We got to stay in the game. We can. What can we do now that this scourge is upon us? When you're stuck, cover as much ground as you can until the answer pops up. We need to have optimism, cultivating an optimistic perspective even when experiencing a high degree of stress. There's a lot of stress. Look at the Gumphreys. That's in Tennessee right now. That's what we're under right now. Don't delude yourself or deceive yourself. What I said is absolutely 100% correct. They are benefiting off this criminal justice apparatus that focusing on crime that doesn't exist, not focusing on their crime, and exploiting us and blackmailing us that exist. But we need to have optimism. Even while we're experiencing a lot of stress, optimism. And look past your current situation. Focus on possibilities and potentialities, unlocking yourself from the frame that this is the way it'll always be. And just do it. Don't wait until you feel like doing it. Just vote. Don't wait until you feel like it. Get up and vote. And let's look at some verses in the Bible. He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. Psalm 18, 17, 18, 19. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also to a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. We're going to a large place carried by the Lord. Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. The Lord rewarded him according to his works. Whom be thou ware also, for he hath greatly withstood our words, and the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work, and will preserve me into the heavenly kingdom, to whom glory forever and ever. Amen. That's 2 Timothy 4:14. There's hope in God. We should try to help people the best we can in spite of these bad stuff. Look for opportunities and reframe the bad. A flip in the wrong direction doesn't necessarily add up to the long-term total loss. Remember, odds and probability. Try to get the odds in our favor. Coin toss, a string of tails will even out equal heads. The odds are even. If the odds are higher in my favor, a wrong flip should not worry us. So the odds are in our favor. We've got more of the electoral than they do. Psalm 144, 1 and 2. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight, my goodness, my fortress, my high tower, my deliverer, my shield, and whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me. Lord, teach my hands to fight. And that's what we need to do. Through not violence, through having hope, through voting. Vote. Voters of truth and rage. Hope. If everything were going your way, there would be little need for hope. Hope comes into play when circumstances are dire, things are not going well for you or there's considerable uncertainty about how things will turn out. Hope arises precisely within these moments when hopelessness or despair seem just as likely. Perhaps failed an important test, lost your job, scooped up your child after a bloody bike accident. Hope in desperate situations like the Guthrie case, like the situation in Tennessee with the evil government, is fearing the worst but yearning for better. Deep within the core of hope is a belief that things can change. No matter how off or uncertain they are, this moment things can turn out better. Possibilities exist, and they exist in Tennessee for the better, for the good. They do. Hope sustains you. Hope comes from God. It keeps you from collapsing into despair. It motivates you to tap into your own capabilities and inventiveness. And we have hope to turn things around. It inspires you to plan for a better future. With hope, we become energized to do as much as we can to make a good life for ourselves and for others. And we can do that in the state of Tennessee in spite of the wickedness. Now that comes from a book, Positively, Barbara Friedman and L. Frickerson, Barbara L. Fredrickson, a PhD, a book called Positivity. And I'm not preaching the prosperity gospel, I'm just telling you the truth about how we can have hope in spite of evil. Search the scriptures and highlight those that particularly apply to your life situation. Write them down and get into the habit of declaring them. Get your hopes up, enlarge your vision. Your best days are not behind you, they're in front of you. And claim verses in the Bible that apply to your situation. So trouble can cause us to get up and say, I'm going to try something different. Don't rest on our laurels. The art of becoming wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. Get a lot of ideals. Look beyond the first right answer. So my thing is to turn things around in the state of Tennessee. There's more of us than them. Is to vote. Voters of truth enraged. And today it's voters of truth encouraged. Now I've shown you the evil wicked that's going on in the state of Tennessee. It's horrific. Similar to the Guthrie case. The abductions from the crooked criminal justice system that benefits from getting people in the system, that creates jobs and power and money for them. And the blackmail, the however at the end. The but, all that evil. But we still have hope. There's still a God in heaven, more powerful than the wickedness. We're still alive on the planet. We can still make a difference. We can still go vote and turn things around for you and your family in the state of Tennessee and get rid of these evil people. So help me help you. Subscribe to the channel. Please support the channel. Keep it going. I'm not sure how long we can be self-sustaining. We need help from the populace. We need help from you to continue reporting the news, continue reporting the hard truth that nobody else reports. So contribute if you can. Hit the square icon and help us pay for this. Hit the subscribe button because YouTube won't automatically put this on your channel when we go live. It's a live stream. So subscribe to the channel where you'll keep getting updates. This is Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. Vote, voters of truth enraged. And thank you all for coming. We'll show you the beautiful view and broadcasting live from Knoxville. So I hope you've enjoyed the show and the truthful dialogue, the truthful news. And the last thing I always like to say is, and we'll show you the beautiful view, is that God loves you and I do too.